Hey everybody, so today I am here to share with you how to use your Lansinoh SmartPump 2.0. If any of the parts look wet, it's because I had to wash them for this video. It's the reason why I never got a how-to video out for the first pump, even though you could still use this video for that one because the parts are the same. This is my daily pump. I'm an exclusive pumper and I pump several times a day, so it's very hard for me to find a time where I am not about to pump or just pumped and my parts are actually clean and able to show you guys. So finally making this video, but I'm just going to show you quickly everything that it comes with, walk you through setting up your pieces, and then on to how to pump. So first things first, there is an owner's manual, but mine is long and gone, so there's that. And most versions of the pump do come with some kind of bag as well, but obviously you don't need that to pump. But here's a look at the motor itself, and then you've got your power port over here, your tubing port back here, and then a battery pack on the back. I would open it up, but I have fake nails on. Oh, I can do it. There you go. So you can see I have some batteries in there. Yeah, so it does take 6 AA batteries, and you are able to use it that way as well. But there's the motor. And then you do have the tubing back here. It actually comes in 3 parts. I only could find 2. There is this big long piece that will go into the pump itself because it has this little plastic piece at the end that will go in the tubing port. So there's that. And then there's also this piece that has the connector for double pumping, and then there's an additional piece of tubing that looks exactly like this one that you would put on here, and that way you could double pump. I don't have that because I don't double pump, but you would just put it over here on this side, and then that way you're able to hook up the long piece of tubing that goes into the pump itself. You would put it right there, and then you'd be able to double pump because you'd have 2 sets of tubing on either side right here. But I just single pump, so I don't even use this bit, and obviously I could not find the other side of tubing for this, so I just use this big long cord. So this is what I'm going to be using to show you today, but I just wanted to go over the tubing real quick. But then you do have your connector, which is this part right here, and then you do have the membrane that goes inside there, or on top I should say, and then the membrane cover that locks on. And then this is also your duct valve membrane. You get some lids for your bottles. There's also some nipples as well. They're Momma nipples. And then here's a collection bottle. And then they do come with 2 different size sets flange. So you can see there's one bigger and one smaller. This is a 25 millimeter. This is a 30 millimeter. So there's 2 of each of these. Obviously there's a whole set of stuff, not just one of everything. Like I said, I'm going to be showing you single pumping, so I just got out one for me so it's less confusing. But there are these 2 sizes included. Now I will show you additional options once we get it assembled. You're not just limited to Lansinoh flanges because obviously they don't offer additional sizes right now. So if you are a 25 or you are a 30, this will obviously work out for you. There's nothing wrong with these flanges. They work just fine. But me personally, I am a 21, so I have to use something different. So I will show you that here in a second. But that is everything. So let's go ahead and get your parts assembled. Okay, so let's start off with the connector. Like I said, you do have the membrane that fits right up here. So you're going to take this membrane, and as you can see, there's 2 different sides. You're going to put it down just like that. So those little pieces, those little edges it has, fits right in there. So it almost like locks on itself. And then you take the cover and you want to put it off to the side so it looks like it's not straight, because you're going to twist and lock it. That way it cannot come off. So everything is lined up how it should be. And then you're going to take your duct bill valve and just place it under here. And then you can take your bottle, put it on there. Now I have 2 things to show you. When it comes to the flange, like I said, their flanges obviously work because they're, you know, the same brand and what they come with. But you are able to, if you need a different size, whether smaller or bigger, you can use Medela flanges. So this is a traditional one I got years ago for my first pumping journey. This is a 21 millimeter, so as you can see, it fits. All of their traditional flanges do fit. So there's that. And then they do have the flex flanges from Medela that are kind of similar to the Lansinoh ones, but they do have additional sizes. these fit as well. These are what I use on a daily basis and what I like the most. I will have them linked down below for you. I will say that if you are large chested, this is oval shaped. It's not a traditional circle. You can see the difference here. So I would recommend, if you are large chested, to put this oval vertically. Horizontally, I was not getting a good latch or suction. So if you're using these, I would recommend vertical. But I just wanted to show you, you have different options when it comes to flange. So if you need additional sizes, you can go ahead and check that out. Like I said, I'll have links below, but I wouldn't do it until you have given birth. You're able to size yourself, and sizing will change with postpartum. Swelling will change. That also includes your nipples. So don't be surprised if your flange size changes. For the first like 9 to 12 weeks, I'm a 27, slowly, gradually go into a 24, and then I end up at my 21. So it does take a while for my swelling to go down and for me to get into that size. I also wanted to show you something with the bottles. So these are obviously wide bottles. I wanted to show you that with the Hygeia adapter, these are kind of hard to find. I will link them. They are a little expensive now. They didn't used to be, but you are able to twist this on to your connector, and then you're able to use standard narrow neck bottles. So you can go ahead and twist this on just like that, and it fits. It's pretty secure. As you can see, it's so secure, it's trying to take the adapter off. And another pretty standard bottle. You're able to do this. Now, I have had some people say that this connector leaks and they've had some problems with that. I personally haven't had that issue, but just be well aware of it, that it can happen. So I wanted to show you that you do have options as far as bottles and flanges go, because I've also made that work for myself in the past. But this is the typical setup for the Lansinoh pump. So if you were double pumping, like I said, you would take the long tubing that's going to go into the pump itself. At the very end of it, you would take the additional piece that is for double pumping, and you would go ahead and you would put that end on there, and then you would find the other piece of small tubing that has no end on it, and you would place it right here. And that way you are able to double pump. Now, they technically have this little piece right here, so you can twist it. You can put it down in that hole, and you could single pump with this, which would be useful if you're used to double pumping and just need a single pump for an occasion. But if you are single pumping consistently on a regular basis, you can just use this. This is what I've done for so many pumps now. And all you're going to do is you're just going to put this little plastic piece in there and just give it a good wiggle. Every once in a while, since this is hard plastic on like a silicone material, you'll see it'll slowly kind of push out of your pump. Just give it a push back in. That easy. So there's that. And then to connect the tubing, no matter if you're single, double, they should all have ends like this. And you'll just slip it onto this plastic piece on the back of your connector right here. You'll just want to make sure it's all flush and up on there. And there you go. You're ready to pump. So obviously if you were double pumping, you would do this again. So as far as pumping itself, this does have quite a few options. It's one of the reasons why it's one of my favorite pumps, is because I feel like it works for a lot of people with the different modes it offers. So this is the power button, decrease, increase, modes, or I like to call it frequencies because honestly that's what it is. And then there is also the stimulation or expression button. And with this pump, it does start off with the memory of where you left off when you started your last pump session. So when I turn this on, you're going to see my personal settings and what I always start off on, and I'm going to mess it up for you guys. So if I turn it on, you can see I like to start right here. This right here indicates that you are in stimulation mode. That means that it's going faster to stimulate your body and get the milk flowing. If I hit this button, it's going to kick me over into my settings for expression mode. So you can see right here, it's slowly worked its way up to my full settings, which I find to be pretty nice. But if you come over here, you see that I use the second mode. This is like an in-between frequency. If I hit this, you can hear it go slower. It has a very low frequency. If I go to the first mode, you can hear it's pretty fast. So you do have options here. This is the one that I sit at. So this is increase. So as you can hear, there is plenty of suction to be had on here, but I honestly don't go any higher than this right here. So that's decrease. And again, you would hit this to go into stimulation or expression mode, and you have the same options over here. lots of suction as well with stimulation mode, which is pretty rare, but that's pretty much it, you know? So my recommendation with this is to start low, work high. And with the frequency, I would work high, then go low. So basically, I would start off, once you get into expression mode, I would start off with the first setting of frequency and slowly increase your suction. If you find that the high frequency doesn't work for you, then go to the second mode. If you go through all those suction levels and you still are having trouble emptying, then go ahead to the third mode and just find what works for you. Everyone is going to be different. Like I said, I reside in the second mode. And then with suction, you'll want to work low and you'll want to slowly increase your suction. You want to find something that is effective with drawing out milk and emptying you without causing you any kind of pain. Pumping should not be painful. It can be uncomfortable, especially in the beginning when you're getting used to pumping. Maybe you're newly postpartum, whatever it may be. With that, it's to be expected, but it should go away the more you use the pump. However, if it doesn't, and if it's painful, something is not right. Whether it is, too much suction, a wrong setting, a wrong flange size, all of those are crucial. So make sure you're paying attention to those factors because it can directly impact how pumping feels to you. I just noticed that I never plugged the pump in. So as you can see, you can use it on the battery, but if you want to plug it in, it's the same thing. There's no difference whatsoever. The battery indicator will just not be there. So the plug will be. That's the only difference. I've had a lot of questions over the years if I've ever noticed a difference as far as suction strength goes. No. With the first version, Signature Pro, 2.0, all of them, I have never noticed a decrease with suction strength or anything when it comes to battery versus adapter. But like I was saying, it is important that you find a frequency and a suction that works for you. Everybody will be different. I like a higher frequency, a lower kind of middle suction, and that can vary from session to session. Don't be afraid to switch it up. This pump has a lot to offer. Utilize that, play around with it. Don't be surprised if it takes a little while because of the options that you have to find something that works for you. And the 2.0 is also a smart pump. So I'm going to put a screen recording right here and show you what it looks like while you are pumping. It is seamless to connect. I made a video for Lansinoh for this a while back. It has been unlisted, but I'm going to make it public with this video in case you need help walking through the steps. But it's really easy to connect this smart pump to the app and have it all be pretty seamless. It'll keep track of how long your sessions are, and you're just going to have to manually input how much milk you make into there. But yeah, it's a smart pump, so there's that feature as well. But as a whole, that's basically everything. If you have any more questions, leave them down in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And as always, thanks for watching.